Hello everybody, this is Torah portion of Parsha Vayechi. Torah discusses how Yaakov moved down to Mitzrayim and he lived in Mitzrayim for 17 years. Eventually the Torah writes that Yaakov reached the end of his life, and as he feels his end is coming, he reaches out to Yosef and says, Yosef, please swear to me that when I die, you will not bury me in Egypt. Always only being buried in Egypt. So Rashi writes, among a few of the answers, but Rashi writes that Yaakov was afraid that after he dies, he'll become mummified and embalmed and turned into a deity, and they're going to worship him as a god. And Yaakov didn't want to be turned into an idol. That's one explanation. Rabbi Hirsch offers a very fascinating explanation as well. He says that Yaakov looked around and saw his children and family becoming acculturated and settled down and comfortable in the land of Egypt. He wanted them to know a profound lesson. He wanted them to know we really belong in Eretz Yisrael, in the Holy Lands. We're only here temporarily, only here because we're forced to be here. But we shouldn't get comfortable here. We shouldn't be here permanently. And by telling them he does not want to be buried there, he's telling them, not only should you not be comfortable here, to live here, you shouldn't even want to be buried here. You shouldn't even want to be dead here. Really, we belong in Eretz Yisrael. That was the message he was teaching them. Don't get too comfortable. We're only here temporarily. Really, we belong in Israel. This Parsha reminds us of the mitzvah to bury a fellow Jew. There's a mitzvah that's when someone is buried, a mitzvah to help participate in helping to bury them. It's seen as a great act of kindness to the deceased. I want to share with you a beautiful story about the mitzvah to bury somebody. Rabbi Yechetzkel Abrahamsky was once the chief rabbi in Moscow. Eventually he was arrested by the communist authorities and he was sent to Siberia for many years. Eventually he was released and he moved to Israel. He was married for many, many years and he had a very beloved wife. Eventually his wife passed away. So he lived in Yerushalayim. In Yerushalayim, the custom was that they would do the funeral even at night. So Rabbi Abrahamsky had many students, and they all came to help bury Rabbi Abrahamsky. And Rabbi Abrahamsky was devastated by the loss. He was consumed by the pain of his beloved wife's departure. A few days later, a student of Rabbi Abrahamsky came to be Menachem to console him. And as soon as Rabbi Abrahamsky saw the student, he was so happy to see him. He says, "Oh, I have not been able to stop thinking about you." The student says, "What do you mean?" He says, "I saw that in the nights when you were helping to bury my wife, somebody hit your foot with a shovel, and I've been worried all this time about how your foot must have been feeling, how you must be in pain." Imagine this story. Imagine that during a time that he was devastated by the loss of his wife, he had the sensitivity and empathy to be able to feel another person's pain. The student assured him he was okay. He wasn't really hurt. And only then was Rabbi Abrahamsky consoled. Let's all absorb these lessons. Let's appreciate the importance of living in Eretz Yisrael. Let's appreciate the mitzvah, help our fellow Jew get a proper burial, and let's all, of course, empathize the importance of loving and respecting and empathizing with our fellow Jew. Have a beautiful Shabbos.